Hello YouTube, this is Darkon633, and we're taking a look at the Transformers Power the Primes Deluxe class Blackwing. Now with Blackwing, it finishes off the Darkwing duo that was seen in the Transformers Masterforce cartoon in Japan, but these toys were also released stateside as just basically Powermaster releases. Obviously, once again, this figure isn't technically a Powermaster per se, but with the Prime Master gimmick, you can kind of make it a pseudo Powermaster. So, anyways, we'll now move on to the presentation and contents. To start off, as usual, we're going to take a look at the card first. The card shows a pretty nice artwork design of Blackwing in his robot mode. A picture of his vehicle mode here for the toy. Has a bio on the back, which is more of a question for those who actually have the toy will be able to understand what I mean, that this is very weird for a bio. And it does have some Prime Master promotions there as well. So that covers up the box. In terms of the rest of the contents of the box, you get a card as normal, which mine is Amalgamous Blackwing, which is pretty cool. Has two guns once again, so I appreciate once again Hasbro releasing with two weapons. The hand-foot gun, and that pretty much covers up the contents of the box. So, in terms of the presentation and content, once again, I give this a 5 out of 5 since Hasbro has once again released some more than what they usually have been releasing with these Transformers so far. And now we move on to the articulation and pretty much the overall features of the figure. So anyways, looking at the figure up close, you pretty much see very close to what we've seen with Dreadwind. In terms of articulation, the head is on a ball joint, but it's a little bit weird since it does have a secondary head joint due to transformation, so that is definitely different than what we've seen with Dreadwind. The wings are technically articulated, and you can move them in various different ways. They actually are on inner ball joints, which we'll see once we go to the transformation. He has ball joints at the shoulders, a standard elbow joint, but swivels at the elbows. No wrist joints this time around. He does have 360 waist articulation, ball joints in the hips, swivels at the thighs, and just under 90 degrees because of the way that the leg is designed. What you can do in this mode is, once again, you can take the hand-foot gun and plug it into the chest and use the Prime Master armor. This is something I still really not too much of a fan of since it just causes the figures to look extremely goofy and bulky more than they need to. So it's nice they actually put in a gimmick to add a little bit more play value, but it's something I don't really care too much about. So other than that, that pretty much covers the figure what it does in this mode. But now we're going to move on to the transformation. We're just going to quickly pull it there. So from here, you can actually keep the weapons on, but you could theoretically plug them into the hand, I forgot to mention. But other than that, we're just going to keep the weapons on. And what we're going to do is turn the head so that it faces this direction. And from there, we're going to keep it like that for now. We're going to open up this entire compartment, turn the wings, and as you can see inside, it does have ball joints on the actual wing pieces, so that's very interesting for the transformation there. What we're going to do next is spin this. Actually, no, I take that back. They're actually going to keep it in place. We're going to open up the compartment, push this down. So it's very similar to pretty much every other Combiner Wars kind of limb design. So they collapse inward. Then what we're going to do is close up the piece there. There's a lot of clearance issues with this figure since you do need to move the wings quite a bit in order to get everything into place. So there we go. We're going to then try to get everything there. There we go. So we plug it in like this. So now we almost got it fully transformed. We're going to plug in little nose cone area here since it does snap into place with a few pegs there. We're going to then take the arms, pull down them so that they face this direction, and then technically what we're going to do is just turn the guns forward. So now we got Blackwing in his jet mode. To finish off, we're going to pull down these fins. So this reminds me of the aerial bot mode, but it does have a lot of differences to help it differentiate from that particular vehicle style. Unfortunately, the way that it is packaged, it causes massive warping problems, so be wary of that. In terms of articulation, this one, obviously, since it's a jet, they're not going to have any articulation, and since it doesn't have any wheels, you don't even have any ability to roll it across the table. You can actually take a Prime Master and it just kind of stand there with a peg there, but it's really something not too big going on there. You can take this so that you can make it a pseudo Powermaster in this mode as well, and from there you can still place the Prime Master onto the back. So it looks something like that. So you pretty much get the idea. So if you have other jet transformers just on this own, it really doesn't do a whole lot compared to them. However, if you do have Dreadwind, you can do one extra thing, which I really appreciate Hasbro for incorporating onto the design. So anyways, we'll bring Dreadwing here and take a look at what he can do. Now that we have Dreadwing here, what we're going to do is kind of mishmatch the transformation a bit. We're going to pull this nose cone in this direction. We're going to open up the cavity here and turn the wings in this direction. While this isn't 100% necessary, it does help with the overall look. And we're going to keep it there for a minute. And from inside, we were able to pull out this hidden peg, which is hidden here. We're going to close up the cavity so that it stays together. So it looks something like this for now. And from there, we're going to pull the wings in this direction and plug it in. And similar to the characters from the Masterforce cartoon, you can plug the jets together, but unfortunately it's definitely not the best incorporated in design. Since all it is that is holding them together is that tiny little peg, it's definitely very loose and it just does not stay in securely. So it's unfortunate that while they were able to put the design together, because of the way that the hand-foot port works, it really doesn't help it in the long run. So overall, I think the features are very good, but it's definitely not the best. So here I actually give it a 4.5 out of 5, just because they almost made it here. So in terms of overall value, you're pretty much getting what you get for a Transformers release in the modern Transformers Deluxe line, except for the fact you do have the dual guns, and that pretty much gives it a higher rank compared to other Transformers in my opinion, since they actually gave them some extra accessories. For that, I give this overall value of this 5 out of 5, because it's another really nice figure. While I don't have the G1 toys, because they're very expensive and hard to get a hold of, especially nowadays, I do have Dreadwind here, so looking at them side by side, I think Hasbro did a fantastic job releasing them in the same scale, and I really appreciate that we were able to get both characters in the line. And we'll now move on to their jet modes. And here we have the Darkwing brothers side by side. I think it's still really nice that Hasbro was able to release both of these characters, and they look really nice in their jet mode outside of maybe the warping problems and the overall design when you actually combine them into their jet modes. So I still appreciate they were able to release both of these characters, and I think they look really nice together in their jet modes on their own. In conclusion, this is another fantastic release in Transformers Power of the Primes line, and if you're a fan of the character, or just of the characters in the toy line, then I highly recommend picking this up, since it does work really nice with the duo of the Darkwings. I got mine at Amazon, and once again, similar to what happened with the, let's see, what was it, Ripper Snapper, there isn't really that many sightings outside in major stores. However, they have been trickling quite a bit recently. It's just not in massive quantities that happened recently for Wave 1. So I highly recommend checking out Amazon and maybe a few other places like Hasbro Toy Shop eventually, and if you wanted to get the full set from BBTS. Anyways, please comment, rate, and subscribe, and check out Hero Club and Hirotaku. Also check me on Twitter, Darkon633, and also on Instagram under Darkon633 as well. Please check the little bell at the bottom of the screen in order to make contact go up as soon as possible, and please check the other channels down below. I'll be back with more Transformers reviews, but for now, I'll be seeing you later, YouTube. Bye.